Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast.
Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap, as it'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Regular. 180.
Baker going to throw this right away. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. Hey, look at this Packers defense.
They enter this one down in the 26th position in the NFL against the run.
And this group talks all the time about wanting to be better, getting stronger against the run. And to me, it all starts up front. You've got to win the line of scrimmage in order to play against the run very well.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Point it right. 180. Hey, alert 33. What's up?
Up the middle they go. Bates.
And he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
Good. 180. What's up?
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down.
46-yard line.
The Bucs at 3-6 now on the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
Run. Good. What's up?
Mayfield looks to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolded.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Let's go.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And not much running room. Down to the 32.
Credit Yaya Diaby with a stop.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
60 vice.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Pat the 60.
They'll drop to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 30.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They fumbled the last time they had the football. Fortunate that it only led to a field goal. 3-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5.
To throw, Mayfield.
Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. And the Packers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10.
And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack.
Kalijah Cansey
In there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. He'll look to throw.
Short throw. He's got Kraft.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That one goes for 24 yards.
1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Let's go. 19, Tiger. 19, Tiger. 7 Pirates. 7 Pirates. Trap 60. Trap 60. Let go.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
That was well defense right there. He saw the play in front of him and able to hold the point of attack. Then he sheds him and goes and makes a tackle for a loss.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up fourth down.
Will Reichard on for the field goal. A 41-yard.
And his kick is good. And that will make it 6-0.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor there. But thank you, Dr. Davis. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
You look at this Packers defense.
Right now they're ranked number 29 in the NFL against the pass. So 4th from the bottom, Charles.
They're in the bottom 10 in the league. I mean, when you look at their talent, you would think that they'd be much better. Overall, I don't think there's any question you'd have to say that they've underachieved.
6-0 our score after 1.
Second down and 8.
Regular. What's up?
Throwing, Mayfield. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 34.
It's not often that you'll find offensive and defensive guys that'll agree on much, but one place they find common ground, you've got to protect or attack the middle of the field. And no one was there. What a big play, moving it downfield.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
Hey, alert 33. 180. What's up?
Here's Mayfield. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Cobb. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And 3rd and 8 now.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
180. Run. What's up?
Mayfield to throw it. He'll try and do this himself. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Ready, set.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
That's taken in by Kraft.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Back to throw.
Now he'll tuck this and run. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jamel Dean.
And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Intercepted. The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Hey, alert, alert, alert! 180! What?
On first down, it's Bates. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
36-yard line.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Set, up, 180! Cut!
Mayfield. And Mayfield again with the interception, his 3rd. And the Packers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
So the challenge, not a successful one, as this will stay an incomplete pass.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He's going to air one out for Anderson.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
And that is not what you expect from a receiver of his caliber. Sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself. You don't look it in, and all of a sudden it's on the ground. A surprise to all.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give them 25 yards.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Second down and 6 now.
Here we go, set. Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground. honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on third down. Now back to throw.
Now he's going to step up and run.
That is brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
Here we go. 60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat.
He'll look to throw.
He'll try to do it himself. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Packers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
What an excellent end result for them. But let's go back to the decision, first of all, to go for it all on 4th down. A lot of pressure on the quarterback's shoulders, but they knew he could handle it. Makes the right read there, gets the ball to his receiver. They get the first down. It's now 1st and goal.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding them out on 1st down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
2nd and goal from the 1.
Let's go now. 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Packers will extend their lead here just before halftime.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now stands at 13.
Buccaneers, nothing.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
35-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started.
Alert, 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 alert.
And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play.
Up, up. Hey, alert, 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 alert. Regular, regular, regular. Done.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And he will be out of bounds with no time remaining on what will be the final action of this first half. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the 44-yard line, here's second and a yard.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And he stopped immediately there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
A yard, all they need, but it's 3rd down.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And he's going to have the Packers first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They'll run on first down. Lloyd. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 24-yard line.
It's a gain of 17 yards. First down, Green Bay.
Here we go, set.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
2 yards on the
You've got to be impressed by the defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Check, Panther. Check. Six.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
But that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going.
Kalijah Cansey
Able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
And you get the feeling, Charles, yeah, he's got the 2 sacks now, but he may get more here. We've still got a quarter and then some to go.
And the way that he is playing this game, it reminds me of one of the best golfers in the world who can use every club in the bag and make a great shot. That's what he's doing with his pass rush moves right now, showing a little bit of everything. They have no way of stopping him.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
47 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
So into Packer territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 34.
180. Up close. What's that?
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Bates. And a short gain down to about the 33.
He's taken down.
Big Derek Brown making the stop.
A gain of a yard.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman, the ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
Ball at the 33, second and 9.
Run 80. Run. Stop.
Now Mayfield. Looking left side, and it's complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter.
So a strong drive here to lead off this 3rd quarter and gets them right back in this football game.
And I think we can safely call that a statement drive because they had to be saying, we didn't put our best foot forward in the first half, but we certainly mean business now. Maybe a better term, a prove-it drive. They proved it to themselves that they were ready to go.
So up comes Mayfield as his guys will go for 2.
The Bucs will set up for the 2-point conversion.
What's that?
They'll try and throw for it. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
At their own 27-yard line.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Let's go now.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
Now this thrown deep for Kraft.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Going for the knockout blow right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got them this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. Down the left sideline.
Touchdown, Packers.
Tucker Kraft.
56 yards.
And the Packers look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead.
Extra point splits the uprights. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And that one not returnable. It's over the back line to the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started.
Set. 180. Alert, 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 alert.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Kings, Kings, Kings! Hey, alert, 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 alert! What's up?
Mayfield now. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Pistol, pistol, pistol. 20! Up, up! What's up?
Looking to throw. And it is caught. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That 3rd down conversion good for 23. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
2nd and 10.
Run, run, run. Stop.
Now a handoff up the middle. Bates. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
180! Point it right, point it right, point it right. What's up?
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Okay, so the personal foul penalty, and those are some important yards lost right there.
Yeah, it all comes down to discipline, doesn't it? And every team tells us that they coach it, they preach it. In this case, it slipped a little bit.
What's up?
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
And good yardage there on 1st down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Hey, alert 33. What's up?
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mayfield. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
Good. 180. Pistol, pistol, pistol. Alert, 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 alert. Hey, alert, 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 alert. Dad.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
180. What's up?
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Wide open receiver complete. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. A great effort there.
with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Bucs have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Now the Bucs offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2.
The Bucs will set up for the 2-point conversion.
Run.
Mayfield going to try to throw for the 2. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Packers are going to get the football here at their own 23.
That keeps the score. Packers 23. Buccaneers 12.
Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Open man is Musgrave, the tight end. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. That one complete to Anderson. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now.
30. Buccaneers 12.
So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. So a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
From the gun, Mayfield. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
180. Hey, alert 33. Point it right, point it right, point it right. Pistol, pistol, pistol. Pistol, pistol, pistol. Stop.
Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. It's Lloyd.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, 2nd down.
Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They're in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree, matched up against a top 5 defensive unit in the league, and they pretty much had their way.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about it, because normally when we see this defense play, they have their opportunities, and they make their plays, don't they? They knock them back on their heels. They take the ball away. They change field position. In this case, what you said is so apt. They had their way with them, took it to them, and knocked them back on their heels and surprised the heck out of them.
So for the Packers, the win gets them a step closer to 500 at 5-6. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem them.